of encountering that. But
now, Bill Deagle,
yeah, I mean,
Bill Deagle claims there's giants, doesn't he?
Oh, yes, he does. Bill Deagle and I have talked about it, but he would be a better person to discuss it. In fact, I don't know if you've contacted him, have on my show, but I mean, I'm in contact with Bill Deagle, and I could even, we could make that happen or something.
And we have this question: what is the purpose of these soulless beings?
They're used for a lot of things, but the main thing they're used is more of, you could consider them a drone. Let's say that a portal, or they've decided they have found somewhere a new location. They don't necessarily want to take the people that they've spent all the money and the time on, so they can take one of these expendable soulless beings and send them through to the other side and bring them back. But another thing, and I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for this one, but this is something that I was sharing far before that movie came out. They do have a technology, and this is very much real, because there are people out there that I know that have been part of this, where they can actually take your consciousness, they can take the actual the memories of what's inside of you, and they can put them into one of these beings, and it is, I hate saying this because I don't like comparing stuff with movies, but it is similar to that Avatar movie.
Well, they're not going to get a hold of my soul, because I've got it locked in. So if they're going to try to sequester it, they're be in for a fight on that one. Aaron, a lot of things you said are pretty fantastic. Earlier in the first hour, you said something about humans being used, or some type of humans being used for food.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Why don't why don't they eat these soulless beings? Why don't they create soulless beings for dinner?
Because the soulless beings don't put out things like adrenochrome, which is a chemical that your brain puts out, which is considered a delicacy, and it comes out when it is induced through torture and creating fear, and when it reaches a certain peak, that is when it is the most desirable time to devour.
To feed?
Yeah. Yes.
Wow. Okay. Well, I can see what you're saying. It kind of adds some spices, to their dinner. So they're creating these beans, and we've had a number of people on the show, Aaron, because you said that you've been to underground bases. Have you seen anywhere where they have children?
Yes.
And
in Paraguay.
And what are they doing with these kids?
The ones that I saw were various. I mean, we're talking when I was first really getting in the swing of things. These were kids that were in the very last wave of the third generation super soldier program, but most of them were being used for things like remote viewing, bilocation remote viewing, and various other experiments.
Have you remote viewed?
Not that I recall. No, I wasn't. I wasn't one of these. I was pretty much on the super soldier side.
You said earlier, just a few minutes ago, Aaron, that you think the Norway spiral was a sign, but I didn't get who you think the sign was sent from.
I wish I knew, but something just in my gut, and my gut feeling is usually has usually led me in the right direction. I wish I knew, but I can tell you that there are beings out there that are definitely on our side that are pretty much sitting there with their fist clenched going, okay, guys, we're waiting for you to really get a move on. And once that happens, they're going to be, they want to assist us. They want to see, because they want to see Earth have its rightful owners, its rightful caretakers, and that are the true citizens of Earth, not these global elite bastards.
Many have speculated that Obama is deliberately trying to crash the United States economy to bring it down. If people resist that and enough soldiers won't round up their fellow Americans, is it possible that they will either A, use foreign troops, or B, bring out an army of reptoids or some sort of army.
That's a possibility, but people need to know that there's already, I think the last count I was told was there's already about 30,000 foreign troops from various countries in this country right now, and I think my number's low.
Mm-hmm. And what sort of time frame do you see when the country will be brought down?
Well, I don't see, this is the thing, I don't like being on the doomsday side. All I will say is what I know what their agenda is, but I really like to stay on the positive side that there's enough people, there's enough good stuff going on that we're going to defeat them. But like I had said earlier, the first steps, some of the first really steps should make people go, oh my God, what's happening? And if they do implement it, will be the implants and the nationwide identification system.
Who are, this from the Fast Blast, who are the good beings fighting against?
Who are the good beings fighting against?
Yes, you mentioned you believe that there may be good beings on our side.
No, I don't believe, I know there are.
Okay.
There are.
Okay, are they Nordic-looking dudes, or what do they look like?
There's various. See, here's one thing a lot of people need to realize: the reptilian race, the whole thing with the reptilians. Everyone says, okay, they're all bad, they're all evil, they're all this, but they are not. There are some that are definitely good that do not accept or do not approve of what the others are doing. There are good and bad with all kinds of races out there. So it's just as mixed up out there as far as the variety as it is down here.
Aaron, is God a part of any of this?
God?
G-O-D.
Yeah. That's funny. I've never gotten that question before.
Good.
I'm not a religious person. I'm more of, I think of the whole universe as, a wonderful place where there are many, many interesting things, and I've experienced some things that, people may never believe. I don't know how to answer that. I really don't, because I don't use the word God.
Okay. Alrighty. Now let's go back to our Fast Blast and have a few more questions. Basic question. Aaron, do you know what the soul is?
Do I know what the soul is?
Yes.
I mean, the soul...
yeah, obviously, if they're creating beings without it, that means there are other beings, hopefully, such as yourself and I, and our vast listening audience, partake in having a soul. What is a soul?
Well, I mean, the soul is... I don't even know how to answer this. I've never gotten that... I'm getting some really good questions tonight. The soul is the more... How would I put this? The soul, every person's soul is this life force, this energy, which goes from physical location to physical location. Because I do believe in reincarnation. And multiple lifetimes. I've done a little bit of that past life regression, but that's not something I've ever really looked into of the whole how to explain what a soul is or anything.
Okay.
Like they're called souls beings. The only reason I know that is because that was a nickname that was used for them, but they explained it more on a conscious level. Things were explained to me in certain ways, but again, it was all about getting the job done and not caring what the technology was. Will it work for me? Okay, fine. Go do this and come back.
Okay. Question out of the live chat from Y Guy. You mentioned, and I think it's in your bio too as well, about satanic rituals being used on you and others. What do you think the spiritual context of that is?
Well, a lot of it is still with a lot of these shadow government organizations. A lot of it is done simply for tradition, and other stuff is done in correlation with technology. And I'll just use this for an example. At the Bohemian Grove, every year, up in the redwoods of Northern California, they have this burning that they do of this, it's basically like, I don't know if they use wood or what, but it looks like a man, and they have the burning with a giant owl on the back, okay? That is a kind of a traditional thing. I also believe that there's some real dark magic going there, but that's a whole other thing. But then there has been technology this is my expertise, but I will refer to